Well, if you saw my latest video, this should look familiar. I did an unboxing of a sealed, new in box Sony Mavica, and I've really been enjoying this. I've actually been taking it out a lot, carrying it with me in the car to take some images. I do shoot at the highest resolution, 1600 by 1200, so I have a lot of floppies with me. But that being said, because I've been using it, I have a lot of pretty good pictures. And I emphasize pretty good because you do have limitations of the camera from its day, right? This text really isn't as clear, but overall, that's a pretty good image of a bunch of Super Nintendo games. If we look at some of my challenge coins here, it's pretty good, right? You can make out most of the text, but it could be better. The last one I'll show you here of a lake. It's down here. There we go. It's pretty good, right? It's a little grainy. It was later on in the evening. You can make out some loons on the dock there, but it's a little grainy. These aren't necessarily images that I would want to post as is today, anyway. And that really made me think, what kind of upscaling options do I have, and how would it make these images work? So first thing is, I'm going to give a plug for I Love IMG and their sister website, I think, I Love PDF. Not sponsored, but I do use this site a lot because there's a lot of times where you need to convert an image, crop, compress, maybe blur a face or put a watermark on, and you just need to do it real quick, right? You need to get it out the door for some reason, and you don't want to open up a photo editor or do something too big. I Love IMG. You can do that. It's a great thing to have in your back pocket. Again, not sponsored, but I absolutely love this site. So let's take a look at upscaling images. Now I have about 14 images that I want to really look at on the Mavica, and may or may not actually go through all of these in the video, but what I will do is I will have a link for an album at the end where you can look at the original Mavica photos, the AI upscaled, and then the photos I've also took side by side with my iPhone 15 just for your comparison. So let's take a look at the first one, this 2GS keyboard. So if you watch the channel for a while, the Apple 2GS is one of my favorite computers. It sits right to the next to me, right next to me on my desk here. And I took this picture with normal lights in the room, similar to the lighting I would use when I'm filming, minus some spotlights. And let's go 4x for all of these. So as a reminder, all of these images from the Mavica are shot at 1600 by 1200, and we're going to do a 4x multiplier. Let's go big or go home on this upscale. So now it's 640 by 480. Wow. That looks good. That looks really good. I'm hoping this comes off well on the video, but so the original's on the left here, the upscaled version is on the right, and a lot of this speckles, artifact, I'm not a big photography guy, I'm sure there's good words for this, but that cleans up really good. It goes from something that I would not want to post on, my Instagram or something, to an image that, yeah, I would want to post this. Even the text here, this is an old, you might have seen this in some of my videos. This is from a Simpsons sticker pack, probably from the late 90s. It says, "Trust me, I'd never lie to you." It went along with a bunch of speech bubbles you can put around Bart. But that looks really good. That's a big improvement. Even the fingerprint GSI here, that smudge is just dirt and wear. I'm actually afraid to clean it because I don't want to ruin the pad. But that looks better. But again, that's a usable photo. That is a really, really usable photo. Let's take a look at the lake. And again, hey, this is all free. I have an account, not a paid account, but I have an account. There is paid versions for it, but you can do a lot with the free version. And just very impressed with this website, and it's something that I like to have in my back pocket. Wow. Okay, so I'm focusing on, there's this little house over here on the far side of the lake, and it's red and white. It looks like a mess, right? It's a blur over there, but that's sharper. Even look at, as I drag this to the left, look at that, the top of the trees, all those canopies just kind of pop, and that mountain in the background, it looks greener. Even this little platform out here, I mean, that's even the little details and the individual branches on these pines over here. It's all blurred, but this clears it up. Now, again, right, like anything else, you get what you put into it. So the better image you put, the better enhancements you'll get. But considering the age and resolution of this camera, that looks really good. Even the close water really doesn't matter. Like what we're seeing down here, I really don't see much of a difference. But looking further out, just you have a lot better clarity. You can actually tell that that's a pontoon boat far over there on the way left hand side. Very impressive. Very, very impressive. Let's take a look at, this is a picture of a 3D print I was doing. And this is all real time. There's no time compression. Yeah, it's not, it's not lickety split, but it's good. It's fine. So this was an interesting photo. I had a lot of light on it, so we're not going to have issues from that. Sure, I think I don't know. Yes, there's a difference, right? So on the Capricorn logo down here, it does look sharper on the AI upscale. I don't have the best skirt going on in this print, but there's a little more definition. Man, I thought about this. Is really embarrassing. I should have cleaned up my bed if I was going to post this. But if you look in this wire routing tube here, if anything, I think it just makes the light less prominent on it. I don't remember if I had flash on or not. But yeah, it's okay. This is probably not the best example, but I think it goes to show, older cameras, even, with not the greatest lenses, if you have lighting, right? And that's why I say lighting is incredibly important. You don't need the best equipment in the world. If you have good lights, the iris will be able to pick up a lot of detail. And I think that's what we've seen here. Look at the fan, right? It kind of cleans it up a little bit. But yeah, let's do something a little more challenging. Let's look at this one here. So, okay. Yep. Hey, it's free, right? So, can I start this, or do I got to close the browser? Somebody from I Love IMG is going to watch this and say, "Hey, he's using all of our bandwidth." So this is one of the original photos I took for the unboxing video, and this is some flowers I have right outside my house here, and that's a nice improvement. That really is. So again, original on the left, AI upscale on the right, and yeah, it just takes a lot of the graininess out. Oh, look at this. So this is interesting. So this is part of my step. A lot of graininess down here, and it really cleans that up. It actually makes it look like what it should look like. But the colors just pop. The greens look really good. Wow. That's incredibly impressive. Incredibly impressive. I want to take a look at these Super Nintendo cards because I want to see if you can read some of the titles. And I think then we'll close out with probably the challenge coins and then maybe something I had a filter on. But, okay, you know what? This is for a challenging angle. I think this is good, right? So it definitely does bring out more sharpness. Look at this Super Mario Maker for the Wii U back here. It is just blurry. It cleans that up, right? And then let's look at some of these names here on these cards. It's better. I think Speed Racer looks really good. Mario Paint looks really good. Super Battleship, but that's just a bad angle. And as we go over, Super Return of the Jedi looks okay. Super Empire Strike Back, that just really pops. That looks really good. Donkey Kong Country 2 looks really good. Yeah, that was pretty good. Look at the text over on my receiver here. I'm looking at volume right down here. It's a little grainy. That really pops. Even on my equalizer down here. So that right here it says meter level. That cleaned up really good. That was good. I'm impressed with this. I really haven't messed with this too much before the video, so maybe I'll call this a reaction video. I don't know. But I do want to stress, not sponsored. Not sponsored at all. So I think we're doing the challenge coins here. Yeah. So let's look at this one because we do have a lot of writing in the background. I want to look at this one right here for the 116th Submarine Birthday Ball. It's better. The red here on the USS San Juan patch, that really cleans it up. Let's see. But again, there was pretty good light on here. This is really good. I have this Warriors coin for CPO class 129. That looks, yeah, that's an improvement. That's an improvement. Even this hat down here, right? So you got the body of the submarine going up here. That looks pretty good. Pretty good. But again, we had a lot of light on this photo. So, the camera was able to pick up. So let's close this out with one more. I love this one of my kids on the seesaw here. It does have a filter on it, right? And which had a really good feel. And that's one of the nice things about the Mavica, because the photos, in my opinion, still have a film-like feel, kind of like 35 millimeter, but it's not. It's digital, and in all honesty, I think this has done the opposite. I think the original on the left looks better. 'Cause look at the grass over here, right? It's very sharp, which, yeah, it's an upscale. What do you expect? It's gonna make it sharp, but you lose the feel of the photo. Yeah, the original looks better. Let's do another one. That's interesting. So here's a black and white image. So same thing on the seesaw. And again, we're outside. The sun's overhead. You have all the light in the world, so the iris doesn't have to work a lot. See, this one's almost, but it's black and white, so it's a black and white filter. I think I like the upscale a little better. Let's do one more. This is really interesting. Okay, so I would never use this filter in real life, but it's the negative filter. Let's see what this one takes a look. So I'm actually going to probably end up almost doing all of them. I didn't expect this. But I will preface this that I really don't like using a negative filter. I've never really seen a use for this. Okay, sure. My kid's toy lawnmower looks a little better over there. Yeah, it is what it is. Okay, let's do one more. I promise it's gonna be one more. We're pushing like 15 minutes already. Let's do my Jeep. So again, this was done at dusk, if you remember my original photo. Now the iPhone had a much better iris. It can pick up in lower light situation. Oh wow. Wow. So we'll look at pretty much the whole original one here. So again, it was darker right? It wasn't, pitch black, but, we didn't have overhead sun. So a lot of graininess, and that really cleaned it up. I mean, look at the lines where the door meets up to the body. I mean, everything just really pops. The windows pop out. Even my yard flag here, you get a little more definition on it. Even the basketball hoop. Look at the backstop. Like, you get a lot of grain, a lot of artifacts on there. Really smooths that out. Wow. Even the rims, that looks good. That looks really good. Very impressive. And you can tell it was a lower light because this solar light actually kicked on. So it was, for the image, the camera is really working to get it. But yeah, AI upscaling really, really worked on there. Okay, this is going to be the last one, I promise. And it's going to be the lighthouse. And I like this one because it had a good 35 millimeter feel to it, but it wasn't that bright. It could have used some work on it, and yeah, very grainy. The the grass looks fake, doesn't it? I mean, there I get it. I get it to the yard, right? You see that, and this is kind of a patchy area, right? That tree trunk, very good improvement. You can actually make out my neighbor's snowplow over there pretty good. That's interesting. Those rocks look good. The driveway looks good, and then it just looks like fake grass, almost like it was like a Vaseline smear over the lens. But this red really pops. It makes the lighthouse pop really, really good for the color on there. So, wow. Your mileage will vary with this, right? You know, 2 images, I wasn't too impressed with what the AI upscaling did. But you know what? I think that if I spent some more time and didn't solely rely on AI, maybe use that for a little bit and then use actual Photoshop or maybe some other photo editors, I could probably get those 2 images where they need to be. But incredibly, incredibly impressive for free AI upscaling from iloveimg.com. Yeah, so let me know what you think. Was this interesting? Have you done AI upscaling for any of your old photos? I'm actually thinking of pulling out some old hard drives and memory cards from, just pictures I took when I was younger with some of my first digital cameras, and maybe throwing them through AI upscaling and seeing if, what we can get. Because, I remember I had one of the first digital cameras I had. I took it on a trip to Europe, so it'd be really interesting to see about some of those pictures. It's fun. And the best thing about this, right, is AI upscaling is still new. We still have a lot of work to do with it, and it's only going to get better. I hope you enjoyed this dive, and like I said, I'll have all these images in an album so you can compare them side by side. If you like what we're doing here at Retro Tech or Die, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and we'll catch you next time.